Hello, TheLadyKeziah here. Brothers and sisters, let's have a conversation. An interaction that happened between two total strangers that I was privy to. And just like I always tell you, because I am in the student mode, the universe always gives me an opportunity to learn every day. And I learn from every situation. So for the purposes of this video, let's name them Stranger 1 and Stranger 2. Stranger 1 had a telephone call that nobody could hear what the other person on the other side of the telephone call told her. But from her responses, those on board could deduce that it wasn't a pleasant conversation. What really caught the attention of stranger number 2 is when stranger number 1 said on the telephone call to the caller that I am tired of life and I just have to find a way of ending it all together. I am just tired. And with tears and the tone, made stranger number 2 collected the phone, ended the call, and gave her a long hug. I know some of you might wonder, was that necessary? Well, that is not why I'm here. That is for the moral reasons you can deduce from it. Stranger number 1, with a loud voice and wailing, started enumerating why she thought life was so unfair to her and God wasn't on his side. She even doubted if there is a God in the first place because her life has been from one trouble to the other and now she was fed up. And some of the reasons she enumerated are things that on a daily basis people struggle with. And that is the purpose or the intention of this video. So let's consider some of the things she listed as her reasons of being so tired, so overwhelmed that she feels like ending it all. Number 1, she said she married as a virgin. And because of that, she doesn't see why she had to go through uncountable, unpleasant situations in her marriage. She thought because she married as a virgin, her husband was supposed to have worshipped the ground she walked on. Number 1, my dear brothers and sisters, especially my sisters, you see, the fact that you married a virgin does not mean that she would sustain the marriage over all those 10 years of her marriage life. It is beautiful, honorable to marry as a virgin, but the man will need other things from you as his wife in order to sustain the relationship. I am not supporting the man for having numerous women aside his wife in the course of his marriage, as stranger number 1 enumerated. But marrying a virgin is not enough. You would have to now live to be a wife that this man will be pleased with. Don't say I've neglected the responsibility of the man. These are women in question, so address things pertaining to what we are supposed to do as women. And if you think just because you marry as a virgin would make the man worship the ground you walk on, chances are you cry a lot. So it's beautiful, honorable to marry as a virgin. But besides that, that alone can sustain the marriage. You needed to do something extra. Number 2, stranger number 1 said she had been through uncountable challenges in the marriage. Financially, they couldn't even pay their house rent. And because of that, they had to move in with their in-laws, meaning the husband's parent. And the husband brought that on her. And it was so shameful and so embarrassing. Her family was, uncomfortable with that. And I'm like, wait a minute. Not to her per se, but we are discussing, learning from the experience. You see, in our part of the world, we make it feel like once a man marries you, he's supposed to do everything that comes with finances in the home. The man couldn't sustain the house rent. What were you doing as his wife? You couldn't even pay for 1 year in order for him to put himself together. This is a part of the world that even if a man takes a loan for his house rent, before you finish paying the loan, the house rent has expired. Sometimes things happen along the way. Some people are not even paying house rent, but other matters will arise, such that a month or two he will default. What would be your contribution as his wife? If he's been able to pay 3 years and that has exhausted, and you couldn't even pay 1 year, and because of that, you have to move in to his parents' house, and you felt so betrayed because there you were used as a laborer, as a housemaid, unnecessary hardship that you thought the man brought on you as his wife, so overwhelming, you want to give up. If you were not married at that point in your life as a woman, wouldn't you have rented your own place and paid for it? So, what was then wrong for you to have been able to pay for that house rent for even if it's just 1 year, such that you will not have been thrown out, for you to go and become a housemaid in your husband's parents' home? Of course, if they were housing you, cooking for you to eat, and feeding the child you came with, then you are expected to render a service and respond for that. You cannot move into your in-laws' house and go and live, have your privacy, live comfortably when you are not paying rent. That would equally be unfair. So yes, in our part of the world, some are privileged enough to get in-laws, especially the man's parent, to be nice to you. But if you went there and there was a house help and you were used to do all the household chores, you couldn't equally complain because you couldn't support your husband to pay your house rent. And that is why it ended into that. Am I excusing your in-laws? No. But I'm saying, as long as they've given you a roof over your head and they are feeding you, of course you were supposed to render a service to them. If they had a house help, fine. But if they did not, then know that they will not cook. That food that they have bought with their money, they won't cook and serve you. You are supposed to be in the kitchen. So if you saw that as a maid servant's work and unnecessary hardship, I am sorry, but that was the reality. That was the reality. Number 3, Stranger 3 said, when she was working, she was able to help a lot of people. I think she gave birth and had a lot of complications with childbirth. And that is why when a lot of men are asking, what is a woman bringing to the table? I just wink and pass. If you stood at the theater and seen how a woman's body goes through labor, some of the questions you ask in this generation, you stop asking them. Some people go to labor and come out losing so much. You have no idea. So as to why she wasn't working that period, I couldn't go into that. We are learning from her charges. And to her she had the money, she was able to help a lot of people, including her younger siblings. But when she and her husband needed help, nobody came to their aid. They rather insulted her because, according to them, she had married a man who was not befitting of her, a man who couldn't take care of her, and that is why she had brought that unnecessary hardship upon her. This is one thing I don't know how humanity got here. We always want a man that would be able to take care of the lady. So regardless of the contribution of the man in the lady's lives, all we consider is money. But there comes a time that leadership is more than just money in their home. And the same family who are just, they want another lady to marry their son, regardless of his financial standing, would not want their daughter to go marry somebody who is not financially stable, according to their definition. It is so sad. So, yes, you must support them, and they can support you back in return when you need them the most. And that is why I say, if you're helping people and you know you can't sustain that, or you are not helping them because you feel like helping them, but you're helping them with the notion that one day they should come and support you, chances are that one day they might not come and render in the same measure the services or the help you give to them. Because at that point, you might not know what they are going through. Yes, they are your siblings. And if they are more than one, chances are at least one of them could have come to your aid. But if they decided not to, what would you do? If your mother had you only in your lowest moment, would you expect help from a sibling? No. Would you die? No. You are supposed to still match up. There are some families that they have systems in place such that they could come together and support any of them at any time. But some families don't do these things. So it doesn't matter the help you give to them. When you need help, nobody will be there for you. Another area we want us to consider too. Sometimes in the manner in which we help people, before we turn around to seek help from them, they would have already paid us back in return. I know you're asking, what do I mean? Yes. For instance, you support somebody, and because you're supporting that person, you can tell their situation to everybody around you. Embrace them at every opportunity for everybody to know that they are down today, you are supporting them. The disrespect, the contempt is so much that would be their way of paying you back. Yes. At the moment that tables turn and you want them to support you, you won't find them. Because that moment, all they would remember is how you made them feel. During their lowest moment, how you made them feel. The disrespect, because you are throwing your crumbs at them. Even if you support hugely, the way you disrespected them, the way you made them feel so useless, because when I would and I would wow, the whole body, everybody in the family got to know of their situation because you are helping them. They saw it, they heard it, they experienced it. When the tables turn, they won't come to your aid because all that disrespect was their way of them paying you back in return. So it's something we should consider. The fact that somebody is down today doesn't mean the person will be down for life. Tables can turn anytime. So if you are not able to help somebody, just let them be. But for you to help them and to subject them through inhuman treatment, disrespect, contempt, embarrassing them in front of their family, in front of friends, and everybody around you getting to know that today they are down. If not for you, they and their family would have gone to bed on an empty stomach. It is not right. If you're helping somebody, not because you feel like helping them, but you're helping them because tomorrow you want them to help you back in return, chances are you might not get that when you are in need. So that check, another charge he was raising. Sometimes because you have siblings abroad, you think it's their responsibility to take care of you. You don't know what they are going through. Yes, in some families, it would take one person to rise up and hold the hands of everybody. So you go to that family and all of them are standing. But it took one person to begin. It doesn't run through every family like that. There are some families, they will prefer to even support strangers than to support their own. Yes. The very assistance and support they will give to you, and insult your soul. They can give that to every stranger, and it's normal to them. The things even strangers can give to you, and they take pride in doing it. These family people can give it to you, and they'll make you feel like you owe them your life because of that support. It happens in some families. What do you do? You are not supposed to die because of that. You still have to match up. Sometimes you don't know people's situations because you don't know their full story. They can help you to a certain extent. Nobody can help you forever. So your siblings can sustain you for a period. They can't help you for life. And more importantly, when you are going into marriages that all of them were against, don't expect that in your trying moment, they will come together and help you. They wouldn't. Even if they have, they wouldn't. And your soul is not supposed to bleed because they are not helping you. The universe has a way of bringing help from every corners. All it is asking is for you to say, I am ready to live, and help will come. You are rather looking at the way that your help is supposed to come from. Your soul will bleed. Every human action is a seed, and as long as you've sown that seed, the reward will come. You don't decide where the reward will come from. If not, your soul will bleed. There are people, we call them serendipities. When the universe realizes that the seed you sow, it is time for your reward, it can come from anywhere, even strangers. So don't let your soul bleed because you supported family, you supported siblings, you have been a good person to others, and in your lowest moment, nobody is coming to your aid. Somebody would come. It won't be like this for life. So that also checked. And then she was complaining that her husband wasn't able to take good care of her. And because of that, she was even nicer than when she got married. It is a part of the world that we've been socialized to believe that once you get married as a woman, a man is supposed to do everything when it comes to finances. Yes, I know. There are men in other parts of the world who equally believe in investing into their women. These are men that when you marry them, you transform. They invest into you so much, into you and on you, such that everybody can see that there's been a transformation. But you can't force these things out of any man, especially the typical primitive African man who doesn't even, that is not his beliefs. He can support you, but for you to think you are his responsibility, no, that is too much. And to my sisters, if you are a married woman and you have children, your priority should be the children. More importantly, when you don't have any source of income and you stay thinking of what you are wearing, what about your children's bills? What about what you're supposed to do in the home? You are rather thinking of how the man is supposed to take care of you. And if he's not able to do that, that makes him less of a man. That is wrong. Very, very wrong. You can as well work as a woman and take good care of yourself. But your focus as a wife and a mother, especially when you are not earning any source of earning any income, should be how to maintain the home and take care of your children. Not the expensive things like the women who are working 2, 3 jobs. If you don't have any source of income as a woman, why don't you want to learn and dress like the other women who are working 2, 3 jobs? That is equally, your soul bleed for no reason. Number 4, stranger number 1 said that the family couldn't come together and support her in a dying moment. You see, it is the entitlement mentality that makes us feel that it is your sibling, it is your husband, it is your wife, it is your family's responsibility to come to your aid when you are down. Some families do this beautifully, but if you don't get that, you are not supposed to die. You are not supposed to die. There are people you help today, just like I said earlier, and in your dying moments, they won't come because they've already paid you for that service. Whilst you were taking care of them monetarily and you were abusing them, forgetting that they were also rendering service by serving you. You needed their presence at a particular point in time. That was the service they rendered to you. That so at a moment you need them, they might not be there. And you would feel so betrayed. They have already paid you. Bitter, right? But that is the truth. At that moment, you want them to come together and support you. All that will come to mind was when you had and you refused to give, or when you gave them in contempt, in disrespect, in letting the whole world know that they are so down, you are taken care of. That was the way they paid you back in return. So stranger number one felt that her husband couldn't clothe her because of marriage. Look at her now. If you can't take care of yourself, how then do you expect another human to take care of you and take care of the home and take care of the children too? Is that being fair on the man you married? No. So there are lots of things is because of our mindset. That is why our souls are bleeding. And sometimes when you see people being flippant at issues like this, you might think, oh, it is because they don't see the seriousness of it. No, it is because probably they've upgraded their mindset to understand these things as part of life. That when they happen, they are not supposed to die. They are supposed to grow, evolve, become better through that. Or it tells you they have been able to walk through all this and they survived. So they know you will survive. They know these are not supposed to break you. And that is why you might think they are just being flippant. No, there are things they have witnessed themselves. So all the charges that stranger number one raised against God, for God not being on her side, for God not showing her mercy, for God not supporting her, because if there was God, she wasn't supposed to have been through all this hardship. That even times what to eat was a problem. She could get to her kitchen and she had to, start speaking in tongues so the gas doesn't run out. You see, poverty makes us pray some stupid prayers that want to believe God Himself sometimes laughs. That is why when I tell you, money is not evil, it's poverty that is evil. I don't know how you understand it. Why on earth would you just be speaking on tongues anytime you light your stove so that the gas doesn't? It tells you that everything indicates that the gas is almost running out. If you don't have a second cylinder that you fill and let it be on standby, it means you should have money at that moment, such that when it goes off, you'll be able to go and fill it. For how long will you speak in tongues to sustain that gas? Definitely, you will need to refill it. And that has nothing to do with God or the devil. Okay? And then, after enumerating all these, stranger number two turned to her and said, "Look at me, my dear sister," which stranger number one did. And she said, "If I told you that everything on me today that makes you see me as a rich woman are things I've used between 10 and 12 years, would you believe?" Stranger number one shook her head. And that is how some of us are. Regardless of what we go through, we can still use old things and we still look classy. So that tells you who we are is in here, not with the things on us. According to stranger number two, everything on her that day are things she had used between 10 and 12 years. You think people shop every month, and because your husband, your supposedly good lifestyle you can't sustain, and you can't shop every month, you think you are failed. You think your life is not good enough. Because you see people looking classy everywhere you meet them, and that makes you think they shop every month. Wrong. It is your mindset that is causing your soul to bleed. According to stranger number 2, everything she was using that day, she has used them between 10 to 12 years. And that is how some of us are. Even old things, we can still look classy in them. That tells you who you are. It is inside here. Build who you are from inside out. If not, it doesn't matter the expensive pomade you use and the clothing you use, you can never stand it. When your soul is dying because your mindset is wrong. Stranger number 2 again told her, you see people answering to husband's name and you think their husbands are doing everything for them. What if I told you that you might think my husband is so rich, but I sustain my lifestyle? How do I answer to a man's name? Would you believe it? Stranger number 1 shook her head, and that is the truth. You see some women and you think because they are married, everything concerning their lifestyles are being sponsored by their husbands. Some of these women have companies, group of companies. Some work 2, 3 jobs. Everything is sustained by themselves, not their husbands. And your soul is bleeding because your husband can't give you that lifestyle. Aren't you dying for no reason? You see people driving cars, changing their cars every 3 years, and you think because their siblings are outside the country, they are sponsoring that lifestyle. They are working here. As a matter of fact, none of their siblings have been able, not even all of them coming together, to buy them just even one car. They are sustaining their lifestyles by the work they do here. And your soul is bleeding because you think other people from somewhere are helping some people and you don't get that help. Unhealthy comparison is destroying you. So stranger number 2 told her, you see me as a rich woman today. I have 4 children in the university. That was what caught my attention, and I tend to have a look because I have 2. And with 2, I understand what this stranger number 2 would go through. She said, you see me and you think I'm a rich woman. If I told you that when school reopens, because all of them in university, meaning all of them are going within that same period. If school reopens and I have to beg my children to give me enough time to prepare because preparation is not set, would you believe it? Stranger number 1 shook her head, and that is people's situations. There are some women who answer to men's names, and yet they are more than single parents. With men who are only supporting, the men are rather supporting these women to raise the children. They will give you whatever they have, and you, the woman, would have to do more and add more. Because that is what they have. There is nothing you can do. That is what they have. They have given it to you. Either the children stop the schooling, or you, the woman, will have to do more. Some of these men, it's not because they are wicked. That is what they have. And to them, that is what they have, and they've given you. As to whether it will be enough or not, they've given you. But you see these children going to school, and you think because your husband couldn't pay all, and you have to support him, your soul is bleeding. Some women are rather doing the work, and their men are supporting them, but you don't know. So your soul is bleeding for what exactly? For what exactly? For what exactly? And she turned around and said, you see people living in big houses. What if I told you that that big house I live with my husband, we are just living there as co-tenant. The marriage is long ended. Yeah, ended. As a matter of fact, our not good at. They are just living together as roommates. And you are outside there and your soul is bleeding because you are single, bringing unnecessary hardship upon yourself. I'm not saying people are not enjoying their lives. There are people, both men and women, married couple, enjoying their lives. But you don't know the full story of people's lives. So why don't you work on what it is within your capacity? Instead of you comparing yours to other people for your soul to bleed. Why are you comparing your life with others without knowing their full story? Stranger number 2, so stranger number 1. What if I told you that marriage is long gone? We are just cohabiting. But you see them driving big cars and you are so excited. The marriage is long gone. Because when you study the process of divorce, many people are together, but the marriage is gone. And your soul is bleeding with you having a man and a woman who loves you, willing, ready, and able to do life with you. But you're comparing your lifestyle with other people's, and your soul is bleeding. So you see, if you want to give up on life because you consider yourself a failure, I just want you to understand that you don't know the people you think are better than you. You don't know the problems they are facing. So, brothers and sisters, if you are watching me right now, and there is that silent war in your mind, the heaviness that whispers, you are failing. You will never measure up. Just give up. I want you to pause and hear your sister clearly. You are not alone. There are some families, you see them beautiful outside, but the internal battles, you have no idea. There are some people, one person could have helped. So now we are so inside, now we are so inside, but it never happened for them. You sit outside and you think all is glamorous for them. So you are despising your life. You are not alone. You are not finished. And you are not a failure, even if you feel like one. You see, it is easy to stand at a distance and look at other people's lives. Their smiles, their shiny milestones, beautiful smiles, shiny milestones, their loud celebrations, beautiful milestones, and believe they have it all together while you are falling apart. And you ask yourself, God, are you there? Do you see my life? Is it going to end like this for me? No. Because the truth is, nobody tells you this, but your sister, I'm telling you. Everyone you envy, everyone you compare yourself to, is fighting a battle you cannot see, including myself. Do you know the people you think are better than you? Do you know them? Do you know the weights they carry behind closed doors? Do you know the nights they cry when no one is watching? Do you know the shame they hide behind their perfect images? Do you know their silent struggles? The silent struggles they endure, the burdens, the fears, the regrets that their highlight reels never reveal. We live in a world that teaches us to compare our behind the scenes to other people's edited stories. And so you judge your entire worth by snapshots that were created to impress you, not to heal you. You say, I want to give up because I'm failing at life. But who told you you are failing? Who told you that you are failing? Who defined what winning looks like for you? Is it the life, the titles, the bank accounts, the applause people give? Or is it the quiet courage to wake up one more day and keep breathing when your heart feels heavy? Let me remind you, brothers and sisters, you are not your mistakes. You are not your lost opportunities. You are not your past. The ones you think are better than you, they are humans too. Broken in places, healing in places, trying, failing, rising, doubting, praying, hoping, learning, and starting all over again. You are not disqualified because you fell behind. You are human because you feel at its all. So if today you feel like giving up, don't. Give up on comparing yourself. Yes, give up on trying to please everyone. Absolutely give up on carrying shame that was never yours today. Please do. But do not give up on life because you don't know what tomorrow would bring. Life still wants you here. There is more for you than this moment. There is more for you than this pain, this burden, this weight. There is purpose even in the places that look like ruins right now. So breathe. Take the next tiny step. Ask for help. Rest if you must, but don't quit on yourself. You can help, ask for help from anybody. There are some people, because of the lifestyle they've carved for themselves, because of the family they are coming from, because of the supposedly good marriage they have, they can't go out there asking help from anybody. It would be a betrayal on the family they are coming from. When everybody thinks they are coming from a good family, a rich family, they can't go out there begging. Like everybody sees some of you and they can just give you help. Some people can't. So if you focus on your problems, you miss the blessings in your life. There are so many blessings around you, but focus, the things you focus on will expand. If you focus on your pain, it will become weightier. If you focus on your burdens, you can see the blessings. The opportunities around you, you can see. Why are you broken? And taking pride in the fact that you are broken but not destroyed. As long as you stay broken, eventually you get destroyed. So if I were you, I will rise up and say, I refuse to be broken regardless. And I will match up. Because I believe, regardless of what you've been through, what you are going through, or what you are going to go through, if you want your life transformed, you have the capacity to make it happen. You are not a failure. You are becoming. One day at a time, one breath at a time, and one choice at a time. And one day, you look back and see that the very life you thought was worthless was holding seeds of meanings you couldn't see yet. Stay. Try again. Don't give up on life. Live. Because the people you think are better than you, they are praying for the same strength to carry that you can see. They are praying for the same strength you carry, but you cannot see. You think they have it all put together for them, but they are praying for strength to carry things you cannot see. And you still have a story worth living. It is not over, and you dare not give up. Until I come your way in my next video, watch another video from the channel and engage in the comment section. Let us know. Thank you guys. Much love and bless.